Lesson 8.2 is adding mixed numbers. The objective is to develop addition concepts related to mixed numbers. So we're going to start with looking at some addition problems with just some fractions. Remember, whenever you add or subtract fractions, you have to use common denominators, and this time we're going to put these answers in simplest form. So if I take a look at number 1, I already have common denominators. I've got 5 as my denominator. So remember, then I would just add my numerators. Okay. If we take a look at some other examples here, let's take a look, let's say at number 5. Again, I have my common denominators, but if I add, I know 10 will be my denominator, 7 plus 7 is 14. Okay, this is an example of an improper fraction. We've got a larger number on top, and our denominator is smaller, so this is not in simplest form yet. Whenever you have an improper fraction, you need to change it to a mixed number. So you can ask yourself how many 10s are in 14. There's 1. We have 4 left over out of the 10. And then 4/10 isn't in simplest form yet either, because I can make this into an equivalent fraction that's smaller. I can divide the top and the bottom by 2. And I would get 1 and 2/5. And that would be in simplest form. So if you can divide your numerator and your denominator down to the point where they are prime numbers, or you can't divide them down any further, then that is simplest form. Okay, let's take a look at one more. If we come over to number 6, actually let's go to number 9, because number 9 we need to find common denominators. So in number 9 we have 5/6 and 5/8. I need a common denominator, so I'm going to use 48, because 6 times 8 is 48, and that's one strategy that you can use. Okay, if I took this times 8, I have to do the same on the top. Times 6, do the same to the top. Add these together, and I get 70 48ths. Now remember, if I have an improper fraction, that's not simplest form yet. So how many 48ths go into 70? Well, it goes in one time. To figure out what's left over, so if I need to, you can come up and do 70 minus 48 to figure that out. If you know it mentally, you can do it that way also. So I have 22 left over out of 48. Okay, if I remember my divisibility rules, I know these are both divisible by 2. So I could divide the top and bottom by 2 yet. To get it down just a little bit further, we want to reduce it. So 1 and 11 24ths. And then since 11 is prime and we can't divide it down any further, I know that that is my simplest form for number 9. Okay, so whenever you add, you're going to start using simplest form each time, whether you're adding or subtracting fractions. And when we get into multiplication of fractions in this unit, you'll find simplest form for your answer as well. Let's take a look at how we do this with mixed numbers. Okay, there's an example here for us. It says add the whole number parts. So I have 3 and 1/8 and 5 and 3/8. So I would add my 3 and my 5 and get 8. And then add the fractions. I already have common denominators. If I didn't, I would have to find common denominators first. I add my numerators and get 8 and 4/8. I can reduce that or simplify it down to 8 1/2. Okay, so there's another example here. I'm actually going to go to the next page here because I've got got it a little bit bigger up here. If we take a look at this set of mixed numbers, the first thing I need to do is find a common denominator. So I can use 8 as my common denominator by taking 4 times 2. So if I take it times 2 down here, I take it times 2 up here. So we're just going to cross that off. So I have 3 and 6/8 plus 2 and 7/8. 3 plus 2 is 5. 6/8 plus 7/8, I get 13/8. Now again, 13/8 is an improper fraction, so I need to fix that up a little bit. How many 8s go into 13? There's 1. There's 5 left over out of the 8. I'm going to take that and add it on to my 5, my whole number that I had before, and now my answer will be 6 and 5/8. Okay, so make sure you have your common denominators. Add your whole numbers, add your fractions. If you have an improper fraction, you'll need to simplify, and then double check to make sure that your final answer is simplified as well.